Welcome back to our channel World of Coins, the place where we uncover hidden treasures in your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if that old coins could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, today's your lucky day. We're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable U.S. coins that might be sitting right under your nose. Let's jump in and see if you've got a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 1. Sometimes, what seems like an ordinary coin can carry an extraordinary story. The kind of story that turns pocket change into a collector's dream. Today, we explore one of the most fascinating coins in modern American history, the 1965 Washington quarter. It's the kind of coin that millions of people have handled over the decades. You've probably seen one. Maybe even spent one. But very few realize that certain 1965 quarters are worth far more than 25 cents. In fact, some are worth more than luxury cars, or even small homes. The Washington quarter had already become a symbol of American currency by 1965. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, the design had quickly earned its place in the nation's coinage. The obverse of the coin features a bold and noble portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The simple elegance of the design remains iconic, with the word "Liberty" above Washington's head and the national motto, "In God We Trust," to the left. The year, 1965, sits below. Turn the coin over and you're met with an eagle in flight, its wings spread proudly across the coin's reverse. The words, "United States of America," arch across the top, while "quarter dollar" is curved along the bottom. Between them sits another powerful phrase, "E pluribus unum." But what truly sets the 1965 quarter apart isn't just its design, it's the timing. Because 1965 was the year everything changed for U.S. coinage. And that change would launch one of the most surprising stories in numismatic history. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver. But as the price of silver soared in the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision, to eliminate silver from dimes and quarters completely. In its place, they introduced a copper-nickel-clad coin, more affordable, and more sustainable, the first year of this change. You guessed it, 1965. And that's why this coin stands at the center of so much attention. It marked the end of an era, and for collectors, the possibility of something rare slipping through the cracks. You see, while the U.S. Mint officially ended silver quarter production in 1964, mistakes still happened. There are rumors, and now confirmed finds, that a small number of 1,965 quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets. These rare silver 1965 quarters are not supposed to exist. But they do. And they've become some of the most sought-after coins in the entire world of collecting. Finding one is like winning the coin lottery. So how can you tell the difference between a regular 1965 quarter and a rare silver one? First, weight. A clad 1965 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. But a silver quarter from 1965? It weighs around 6.25 grams. That small difference is enough to raise eyebrows among collectors. Second, listen to the sound. A silver quarter produces a distinct, high-pitched ring when dropped gently on a hard surface. The copper-nickel version? Duller. Less crisp. Coin experts often use this ping test to identify potential silver planchets. And finally, look at the edge. Most clad coins show a copper-colored stripe along the edge, where the copper core peeks through the nickel coating. But a genuine silver coin? Its edge is solid silver, with no visible copper line. Beyond the silver planchet mystery, there are also other rare errors that make 1965 quarters desirable. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, and broad-struck coins all carry extra value, especially in uncirculated condition. Some quarters from 1965 also show signs of being struck with worn dies, leading to unusual textures, weak lettering, or ghostly outlines of the design. While subtle, these features add character and increase collector interest. Of course, condition is key. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. A 1965 quarter in mint state, especially MS 65 or above, can be worth many times its face value. The highest quality specimens are bright, shiny, and virtually untouched by time. Full drum lines on the eagle's tail feathers are also a hot topic among collectors. The more defined the detail on the reverse, the better the strike, and the higher the value. It's all about sharpness, clarity, and preservation that it's amazing to think that such value can be hidden in plain sight. 1965 quarters continue to circulate today. Some are hiding in drawers, bank rolls, or collections. And every now and then, one of these rare coins surfaces, shocking even seasoned collectors that in fact, coin dealers and collectors still search for these coins every day. Metal detectors, estate sales, inherited coin jars, all are hunting grounds for the elusive 1965 silver quarter. And when one is found, it usually makes headlines. What's truly exciting is that these coins are hiding among us. You don't need to be a professional numismatist to stumble upon one. All it takes is knowledge, a little patience, and a careful eye. Imagine holding a quarter, just like any other you've seen before, only to realize it weighs differently. Feels heavier. Sounds purer. That moment of realization, that you may be holding a silver 1965 quarter, is a rush like no other. Even 1965 quarters without mint marks can still hold value based on condition, toning, or unique strike characteristics. Coins with rainbow toning, for example, develop beautiful patterns of blue, purple, and gold over time, and collectors love them. And then there's the thrill of the unexpected. Some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on dime planchets or foreign coin blanks. These errors are exceptionally rare and are instantly valuable when authenticated. Over the years, grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified a handful of these error coins. Their rarity makes them not only valuable, but also legendary among coin enthusiasts. They are the hidden stars of the Washington Quarter series. So, the next time you see a 1965 quarter, don't dismiss it as just another coin. It could be a mistake from the mint, a leftover silver planchet, or a rare error waiting to be discovered. You might be holding history in your hands. The best part. These discoveries don't always happen in fancy coin shops or high-end auctions. Some of the greatest finds come from ordinary people, examining their change under a magnifying glass or checking the weight on a kitchen scale. Whether you're a casual collector or just curious, searching through 1965 quarters can be an adventure. Each coin has a story, and a select few hold secrets that are worth much more than 25 cents, because one particular 1965 Washington quarter, a rare silver planchet example, preserved in near-perfect condition, verified by a professional grading service, and sold at a major auction, stunned the collecting world when it sold for an incredible $185,000. Top 2. There's something fascinating about the coins we use every day. They pass through countless hands, live in pockets and purses, fall behind furniture, and sometimes, disappear for decades, only to reappear holding stories worth more than anyone imagined. One of those coins is the 1978 Washington quarter. At first glance, it seems like just another coin. One you drop in a vending machine or toss in a parking meter. But certain 1978 quarters are anything but ordinary. They're keys to American history and hidden treasures in the world of rare coins. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, meant to commemorate the 200th birthday of America's first president. Since then, it's become one of the longest-running and most widely used coins in the nation. The 1978 quarter features the classic John Flanagan portrait of George Washington on the obverse. It's a bold and timeless design, Washington's strong profile facing left, the word "Liberty" arching above, and the national motto, "In God We Trust," to the left of his face. Below that powerful image sits the year, 1978. A date that, to most people, doesn't mean much. But to coin collectors and enthusiasts, it signals a moment in time worth exploring deeply. Turn the coin over, and you'll find the reverse side just as iconic. The majestic eagle stands perched on a bundle of arrows, its wings spread wide. Above it reads, United States of America, and below, $quarter. Between them, the phrase, E pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one. The 1978 quarter was produced at 3 U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, mint mark, and San Francisco, S, mint mark. But not all of these coins were made equal, and some ended up becoming incredibly rare. Coins from San Francisco in 1978 were made as proof coins, highly polished, mirror-finished coins meant for collectors. These proofs were not meant for circulation, and they show finer detail than regular business strike quarters. The ones from Denver and Philadelphia were regular strikes, meant for daily transactions. However, a few rare errors and exceptional mint state examples have made certain 1978 quarters immensely valuable. One of the most exciting aspects of any coin is the possibility of a minting error. These unintentional mistakes can make a coin extraordinarily rare. For the 1978 quarter, a number of such errors have made headlines over the years. For example, some 1978 quarters have been found with off-center strikes, where the design is shifted, showing a blank space on the coin's surface. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin, especially if the date is still visible. There are also known examples of double die obverse, where elements like the lettering or the date appear slightly doubled. This occurs when the coin die is struck twice in misaligned positions. These coins are prized by error collectors. Some coins were also struck on incorrect planchets, the metal discs meant for other coins. Imagine a quarter that was mistakenly struck on a nickel or foreign coin blank. These minting mistakes are rare and highly collectible. Another exciting variety is the clipped planchet error, where a piece of the coin's edge is missing. This happens during the cutting of the metal blanks. If a 1978 quarter is missing part of its edge but still displays the full date, it becomes even more desirable. Let's not forget the broad strike errors, where the coin was struck outside the retaining collar, causing it to appear larger and flatter than normal. These also stand out and command strong prices, but even without errors, condition is king. A regular 1978 quarter in your pocket might only be worth 25 cents, but in mint state condition, the value can rise dramatically. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with mint state, MS, coins starting at MS 60 and going up to MS 70. A 1978 quarter graded MS 67 or higher is extremely rare, especially with sharp detail and original luster. Another key factor is luster, that original mint shine that reflects light like freshly struck metal. Combine that with full strike details, especially on the eagle's feathers and Washington's hair, and you have the makings of a top-grade coin. Toning also plays a role. Some coins develop beautiful rainbow-like patterns over time, due to oxidation. While not all toning adds value, unique and visually appealing tones often attract collector premiums. The 1978 S-proof quarters, when found in perfect condition, especially deep cameo, DCAM, with frosted designs and mirror-like backgrounds, are highly sought after by proof collectors. A PR 70 grade is the holy grail. Over the years, collectors have found gems hiding in old change jars, coin rolls from banks, or dusty proof sets stored away in closets. That's the magic of coins. Anyone, anywhere can stumble upon something extraordinary, and while silver was removed from quarters in 1965, some 1978 quarters have appeared with unusual compositions, like wrong planchet strikes. These anomalies keep collectors intrigued and excited about searching even more. Collectors also value low population coins, those with very few surviving examples in top grades. A 1978 quarter graded MS 68 is extremely difficult to find, and if discovered, it can cause a serious stir at auctions. Coin collecting is part science, part art, and part treasure hunt. You never know when a coin from your childhood, or one you find in change, might be worth far more than you think. The 1978 quarter represents a bridge between the past and the future of American coinage. It was one of the last quarters before the mint began experimenting with new designs and commemorative state quarters in the 1990s. Whether you're a beginner, a seasoned collector, or just someone curious about coins, the Washington Quarter series offers incredible depth, beauty, and mystery. The 1978 quarter, in particular, continues to surprise and inspire collectors worldwide. So the next time you find an old quarter in your change, don't ignore it. Take a close look. Examine the date, the details, the edges. Check for errors. Weigh it. Study it. Because that simple coin might be far more than pocket change. Coins connect us to history, to people we've never met, and to a time we've never lived in. And once in a while, they reward us not just with knowledge, but with unimaginable value. because one rare example of a 1978 Washington quarter dollar, struck in brilliant mint state condition, showcasing a dramatic minting error and preserved with full original luster, was sold to a lucky collector for an incredible price of $136,000. Top 3. The next time you hold a simple quarter in your hand, you might want to think twice before spending it. Because not all coins are created equal. Some are hiding stories, secrets, and surprising fortunes. And the 1979 Washington quarter is one of those quiet legends that in a world where people toss quarters into vending machines or leave them behind at the gas station counter, few realize that a single 25-cent coin can be worth more than a brand new luxury car. That's exactly the kind of shock the 1979 quarter can deliver. The Washington quarter is no stranger to history. It first entered circulation in 1932, commemorating the 200th birthday of George Washington. Over the decades, it has become one of the most iconic and widely used coins in American pockets and purses. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features a proud and noble bust of Washington facing left. The design is simple yet powerful: Liberty above his head, In God We Trust, on the left, and the date, 1979, clearly marked beneath his neck. Flip the coin over and you'll see an equally striking image on the reverse. A bold eagle with spread wings, clutching a bundle of arrows, is centered with United States of America above and quarter dollar below. Between those inscriptions rests the Latin motto, E pluribus unum. In 1979, the United States Mint was operating at full force, producing coins in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. Each of these mints played a role in shaping the story of this fascinating quarter. The quarters struck at Philadelphia and Denver were made for circulation, everyday coins used in shops, banks, and vending machines. But those made at San Francisco were special. These were proof coins, crafted with polished dies and mirror-like finishes, intended for collectors. Most people don't realize it, but the 1979 Washington quarter marked a time of transition. The mint was modernizing its processes, and with that came some unusual results. Some coins that made it into circulation weren't supposed to, and some that were supposed to be flawless had surprising errors. Among the most thrilling finds are error coins, and the 1979 quarter has a few varieties that collectors crave. These mistakes, born out of mechanical hiccups or rushed production, are worth far more than face value. Let's talk about double die errors. These occur when the coin die is imprinted twice with slight misalignment, leading to doubling of the date or lettering. A 1979 quarter with a visible double die on Liberty or In God We Trust can be incredibly valuable. Then there are off-center strikes, when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process. The result is a quarter with part of the design missing and a blank crescent-shaped area. The more off-center it is, while still showing the date, the more it's worth. Clipped planchet errors are also known to exist for 1979 quarters. This occurs when a portion of the blank metal disc is mistakenly clipped before striking, leaving a distinctive curved cut or flat edge. These are rare and collectible. You may also come across broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the collar that holds it in place, causing it to spread out wider than usual and lose its defined edge. These are dramatic and desirable for collectors. Another type of error includes wrong planchet strikes. For instance, a 1979 quarter accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a penny or a foreign coin. These are incredibly rare and often become centerpieces in elite collections. But beyond errors, the real game changer in coin collecting is condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with mint state, MS, grade starting at 60. A 1979 quarter in MS 67 or MS 68 condition is exceptionally rare and commands premium prices. To qualify for such a high grade, the coin must be virtually perfect, no scratches, no contact marks, and a strong original luster. These are the coins that have been preserved carefully for decades, untouched by the wear and tear of circulation. Proof coins, especially those graded PR 69 or PR 70 deep cameo, are the holy grail for collectors. These 1979 S quarters shine with mirror-like fields and frosty details, making them visually stunning and highly sought after. But even among proof coins, errors exist. A 1979 proof quarter missing its mint mark or struck using worn dies becomes incredibly rare. These minting quirks are what make collectors search relentlessly through old proof sets. Color, or toning, can also add to a coin's value. Some 1979 quarters have developed natural rainbow-like tones due to storage conditions. When this toning is vibrant and well-balanced, it turns an already valuable coin into a collector's dream. What's especially exciting is that some of the rarest coins have been found in the most unexpected places: rolls of coins from the bank, jars in grandma's attic, or forgotten collections stored away in closets for decades. You don't need to be a professional collector to strike gold. Anyone with a sharp eye and a little patience can uncover hidden gems, and the 1979 quarter is a perfect place to start your search. The 1979 quarter also carries a nostalgic charm. It comes from a time before digital wallets and online payments, when quarters still paid for arcade games, parking meters, and payphones. It holds history in your hand. Collectors from all over the world continue to hunt for rare 1979 quarters. Online auctions, coin shows, and grading services see strong demand for high-quality specimens and confirmed error varieties from this particular year. It's worth noting that some varieties are extremely scarce, only a handful known to exist. Coins like these break auction records and draw attention from even the most seasoned numismatists. Every now and then, a discovery shakes the coin-collecting world. A forgotten coin, long ignored, turns out to be a rare variant worth a fortune. This is why the 1979 quarter has captured so much interest, because everyone might be the next big find. And now, we come to the climax of our story. One very special 1979 Washington quarter, struck in immaculate condition, certified at a near-perfect grade, and exhibiting a unique mint error, stunned collectors when it sold at a major auction for an unbelievable sum of $133,000. Top 4. What if we told you that a coin most people overlook every single day could secretly be worth more than $100,000? Welcome to the world of the 1986 Washington quarter, a coin that may look ordinary but holds secrets that could change everything. That you've probably handled a 1986 quarter at some point. Maybe you received it as change, maybe it's sitting quietly in your coin jar, or perhaps it slipped through your fingers without a second thought. But certain 1986 quarters are anything but average. In a world dominated by credit cards, digital wallets, and online payments, the classic American quarter still plays a role in our everyday lives. And for collectors and historians, it continues to hold immeasurable value, especially when it comes with a twist. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to celebrate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Designed by the sculptor John Flanagan, it quickly became a fixture in American pockets and commerce. But not all quarters are created equal. By 1986, the design had remained mostly unchanged for decades. On the obverse side of the coin is the iconic bust of George Washington, facing left. Above him, the word Liberty. To the left, In God We Trust. And just below his neckline, the year, 1986. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the proud image of an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it. The reverse reads, United States of America, at the top, E pluribus unum, just beneath that, and $quarter at the bottom. But beyond the classic design lies something far more fascinating. Something that transforms a regular 25-cent coin into a numismatic legend. It all comes down to rarity, errors, condition, and sometimes, pure chance. The 1986 Washington quarter was produced in massive numbers at two major U.S. mint locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint released quarters without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint used the D mint mark to identify its coins. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Mint issued 1,986 quarters as proofs, high-quality collector coins with a mirror-like finish and frosted designs. These proof coins were never meant for everyday circulation, but as history has shown us time and time again, things don't always go as planned. And sometimes, incredible mistakes happen in the minting process, mistakes that later become priceless. Collectors and treasure hunters know that certain errors can make a common coin extraordinarily valuable. And the 1986 quarter has had its share of those exciting, unintended masterpieces. One of the most well-known varieties is the off-center strike, where the coin design is misaligned. These errors can range from slight to extreme, and the more dramatic the misalignment, especially if the date is still visible, the more desirable the coin becomes. Another thrilling error is the double die, where the coin die imprints the design more than once in slightly different positions. This can result in visible doubling of the letters or numbers, particularly in the word Liberty or the date. There have also been 1986 quarters found with clipped planchet errors, where a section of the coin is missing due to a blank being miscut before it was struck. These crescent-shaped clips are easy to spot and highly collectible. Even more exciting are the wrong planchet errors, where a quarter was struck on the wrong metal blank, like one meant for a nickel or even a foreign coin. These are incredibly rare and command huge prices when authenticated, but beyond minting errors, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. Collectors seek out coins in the highest possible grade. Coins that look like they were just made yesterday. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A 1986 quarter graded MS 67 or higher is extremely difficult to find. The slightest blemish, scratch, or dulling of the luster can drop its grade significantly, and with it, the value. Full strike detail is critical. On a 1986 quarter, sharpness in Washington's hair, clean edges in the lettering, and full detail in the eagle's feathers on the reverse are all indicators of a high-grade specimen. Color and toning also add to a coin's uniqueness. Natural rainbow toning or golden hues caused by chemical reactions over decades can increase a coin's visual appeal and value, especially when combined with mint state condition. Proof coins from San Francisco also deserve attention. These special 1986 S quarters, when preserved in pristine deep cameo condition with perfect contrast between the mirrored background and frosted design, are highly desirable among collectors. Interestingly, some 1986 proof coins made their way into circulation. When found, these coins surprise both casual coin handlers and serious collectors, offering stunning quality unexpectedly hiding in a roll of everyday change. There are also rumors of transitional errors, where planchets from different years or metal compositions may have been used during the production of 1986 quarters. These rare instances are often discovered years later, after careful testing. Today, coin collectors across the country, and the world, search tirelessly through rolls of quarters from the bank, inherited collections, and estate sales in hopes of uncovering a treasure like the 1986 era quarter. With the coin collecting world gaining more attention thanks to online marketplaces and grading services, discoveries are being made at an accelerating rate. And each time, the numismatic community gets a little more excited. So, whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned enthusiast, you should never underestimate a coin based on its face value. Especially not one minted in 1986, a year that holds hidden surprises for those who know where to look. The thrill of coin collecting lies in the unknown. That single quarter in your possession might just be one of the rarest examples ever produced. And with a trained eye, a little luck, and some curiosity, you could be the next person to find it. The 1986 Washington quarter is proof that the most ordinary-looking objects can hold extraordinary stories, stories of history, craftsmanship, and in some cases, life-changing value, because one incredible 1986 Washington quarter, featuring a rare off-metal strike, preserved in near-perfect condition, and authenticated by top grading experts, was sold for a jaw-dropping $116,000. Top 5. Have you ever wondered if that quarter you dropped into a vending machine might have been worth more than your phone? What if I told you that a simple coin from 1995, a Washington quarter, could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered, and worth tens of thousands of dollars? We handle coins every day without a second thought. They clink in our pockets, disappear in couch cushions, or get tossed into coin jars and forgotten. But what if one of those overlooked quarters held a secret, one that could change your life? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1995 Washington quarter. It's not just a piece of spare change, it's a coin that carries the legacy of American history, minting innovation, and possibly, an unexpected fortune. The Washington quarter has been a part of the U.S. monetary system since 1932, introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, the quarter's look has stayed remarkably consistent, simple, patriotic, and instantly recognizable. The obverse of the 1995 quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty. To the left, the powerful phrase, "In God We Trust," and right below that iconic profile, the date, 1995. Turn it over, and you'll find a majestic eagle with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath. The reverse design is topped with United States of America, followed by E pluribus unum, and finally, $quarter at the bottom. On the surface, the 1995 quarter may appear just like any other. It was struck in copper-nickel clad and minted at two major U.S. mint locations, Philadelphia, with no mint mark, and Denver, with a D mint mark. But this is where things start to get interesting. Although billions of these coins were produced, a few rare examples stand out due to remarkable errors, unexpected planchets, or superior condition. And it's these standouts that attract serious attention, and serious money. Error coins are some of the most exciting finds in the numismatic world, and the 1995 Washington quarter has had its share of shocking discoveries. Some of these errors are so rare, they've turned pocket change into a goldmine. One of the most dramatic varieties is the off-center strike. These coins were struck misaligned with the die, leaving part of the design off the coin's surface. If the date is still visible and the off-center strike is significant, collectors will pay a premium. Another highly desirable error is the double die obverse, where the design appears doubled due to a misaligned hubbing process. Doubling of the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust can raise the value of a coin substantially. There have also been reports of broad-struck 1995 quarters, where the coin was struck without the collar that normally gives it a perfectly round edge. This causes the coin to appear larger and flatter, and makes it an instant attention grabber. Even more exciting are wrong planchet strikes, where a quarter was mistakenly struck on a dime, penny, or foreign coin blank. These ultra-rare errors often escape the mint unnoticed and only surface years later. Let's not forget clipped planchet errors, where part of the coin is literally missing due to the blank being cut too close to the edge. These crescent-shaped clips are obvious, but when combined with a visible date, they become valuable collectibles. Aside from errors, the condition of a 1995 quarter plays a major role in its value. Coins are graded from 1 to 70, with grades above 65 being considered mint state, or MS. The closer a coin gets to MS 70, the more it skyrockets in value. Collectors look for coins with sharp details, strong strikes, and original mint luster, that bright, clean shine you see on freshly struck coins. A 1995 quarter in pristine condition is far rarer than most people realize. High-grade examples with full details in Washington's hair, clear edges on the letters, and a reverse eagle with deeply defined feathers stand out to professional graders, and fetch big bucks at auction. Another factor is toning. Some 1995 quarters have developed beautiful hues, golden, blue, or rainbow-like colors, due to the way they've aged or been stored. Attractive, natural toning can dramatically increase a coin's appeal and value. Let's talk about proof coins, too. The San Francisco Mint issued 1995 S-proof quarters, which were never intended for circulation. These are struck with polished dies and mirror-like fields, and when preserved in deep cameo condition, they are collector gold. Finding a proof coin in circulation, accidentally spent or lost, is like hitting the jackpot. These pieces weren't made for wallets or pockets, but a few have slipped through the cracks. If you spot one, don't spend it, treasure it. The fun of coin collecting is that anyone can play the game. You don't need to be an expert. All it takes is curiosity, attention to detail, and maybe a magnifying glass. Your next big find could be hiding in your loose change. Coin collectors regularly search rolls of quarters from the bank, look through old jars at estate sales, and even browse eBay for misidentified gems. And with patience and knowledge, many have uncovered valuable rarities that others completely missed. There's something exciting about holding a coin from nearly 30 years ago and realizing it might be worth more than your rent. It's not just metal, it's a piece of American history with a story all its own, and stories like that don't go unnoticed. Coin auctions, grading services like PCGS and NGC, and online collector forums are all buzzing with tales of rare 1995 quarters surfacing after decades in hiding. As we continue to move toward digital payments and contactless transactions, coins like the 1995 quarter become even more special, tangible reminders of a time before screens took over our wallets. So the next time you're handed a quarter as change, don't just drop it into a jar. Take a closer look. Check the date. Examine the details. Because if that coin says 1995, it might be worth a second glance, and maybe even a fortune. And now comes the part that shocks and inspires collectors across the country. Because one flawless 1995 Washington quarter, struck with a rare minting error, preserved in nearly perfect condition, and verified by a top grading service, sold for an astonishing $75,000.